Malaysian folk tale. A brave deer, a famous kingdom. Raju Iskandar Shah loved hunting. He had many good hunting dogs. His followers too were skilled at tracking deer. Looking at the tracks in the jungle, they could tell the size of the animal that had passed that way. The king was himself an excellent archer. He was also skilled with the spear.
One day, the king went hunting in the jungle. There was a river running through it called Bertam. The trees that grew there were very tall. Once in the jungle, the king released his dogs. His followers began tracking the deer that lived in the jungle.
There were many deer about, but they could not catch even a single animal. The king aimed his spear at many a deer. Each time he missed, and his spear struck the ground. "The animals here are very clever and agile," he remarked.
Tired of hunting in the plains and the hills, the king headed for the river with its clear and sparkling waters. As he was slashing his way through the thick undergrowth,
King heard the barking of a hunting dog downstream. The dog must be chasing a deer, the king said to his chief hunter.
"Its barking sounds different, Your Majesty," he replied. The sound of barking grew louder and louder. The king and some of his followers arrived at the riverbank.
Suddenly all eyes were drawn to a beautiful white deer. It was scampering about like a Salat expert making his opening moves. Raju Iskandar Shah picked up his bow and arrow. "You may move nimbly, my friend, but my arrow will penetrate your body," he said.
The dog's barking sounded nearer and nearer. The dog was right in front of the deer, yet it continued its scampering. Raju Iskandar Shah lowered his bow. He and his followers were dumbfounded at the agility of the deer.
The hunting dog tried to get closer. It was obviously a little afraid of the deer, which was much larger. Yet, it tried to rush at the deer. The deer, however, was alert to the danger. As it leapt, it bent its hind leg, and as soon as its forelegs hit the ground, it kicked at the dog.
The dog was pitched headlong into the river. The deer continued its gleeful dance as the dog struggled in the water. Then it into the thick undergrowth, disappeared. Meanwhile, Raju Iskandar Shah and his followers had stood still watching the drama unfolding before their eyes. The king was leaning against a shady tree thick with fine leaves.
"The deer here are very brave," he commented. "It would be an excellent place to establish a kingdom."
"You are right, Your Majesty," agreed his followers.
"What is the name of the tree I am leaning against?" he asked.
"The Melaka tree," came the reply.
"Very well then," said the king. "We shall name the kingdom Melaka."
Thus, the kingdom of Melaka was established. Under Raju Iskandar Shah and his descendants, Melaka became famous and prosperous. The people lived in peace and harmony.